Hello. I'm going to do a 30-minute class, or at least I'm going to try and make it fit into 30 minutes because I realize that 30 minutes is still quite a long time if you haven't got much time, but 30 minutes is pretty optimal for getting as much into the class as possible if you wanted to have a sort of a foundation for a daily or even a twice, 3 times a week class. So as we're eating at the time already, going to get straight into it. Going to start down on the floor because this possibly could be a morning class, which is always nice to move the spine initially. So come into some cat-cows. So on tabletop, shoulders on wrists, knees under hips, knees hip width apart, and gently moving the spine. In this arrangement, so as you breathe in, drop the tummy down. You can see a little dip in my lumbar and lower back, lifting the head just slightly and pointing the bum up. As you breathe out, round through the spine, pull the tummy button in, drop the head between the shoulders, tuck the tailbone under. So I would recommend doing about 4 or 5 of these, progressively going deeper each time, working with the breath as well. Try to get that engagement with the breath and really don't cheat on yourself here, because the more you move the spine, you know, in terms of the whole length of the spine, from the base of the skull right through to the tip of the tailbone, the better it is for your body, and certainly better it is for the subsequent movements in the class. It really does get the discs gliding nicely against its partner vertebra and stretching out those multifidi muscles that get really tight, particularly first thing in the morning. Okay, so about 5 or 6 of those, and then rock the hips from side to side, shoulders forwards and backwards. And we're going to get straight into it. So stretching out the left leg, tuck the toes in, round or ground down through that left heel, and take a twist here. So taking the shoulders out to the left, take the left hand up. You can stay here or take the palm forwards and draw that arm forwards. You can stay here static. If you want some dynamic movement with the breath, sweeping that hand all the way round. So inhaling up, coming up, exhaling down to the floor, and do this 4 or 5 times. Really get that shoulder mobilized. And then come into a static again, taking that arm forwards, and you can stay here. Or if the balance is good, you can lift that back leg up, okay, and hold here for a couple of breaths, just feeling that grounding on the knee and the hand, but also feeling the work going into the body and targeting your breath into that side of the body that's opening up, okay. Already starting to generate heat in the body. Come all the way back down. You can take a child pose here as you sit back on the hips and stretch out from the lower back. Come forwards, lowering the hips down, lift up through the crown of the head, take a high cobra, and then come back. And we go again on the other side. So straighten out that right leg, tuck the toes in, ground that back heel down. Turn the shoulders or take the shoulders out to the right, arm up. Stay here or draw that arm forwards if you want a longer stretch. And again, judging on your stability, your balance, whatever time of the day it is, taking maybe the leg off of the mat and reaching the hands forward as the feet go backwards, finding that opening through the side of the body, breathing into that space. Just feeling the sensations across the body. Come all the way back to tabletop. And then we're going to tuck the toes in, lift into downward dog. Sending the hips up, send the heels down. When you come into first dog, always good to bend the knees, do this pedaling motion, not compromising the posture. So still taking the head and the chest slowly towards the floor, finding that nice stretch through the back. Okay, and then come up onto your toes to wake your toes up, send the heels down. Inhale through to plank, leveling out the body. And then knees, chest, chin, all the way to the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale up into Cobra, keeping the elbows tucked in, lift up through the crown of the head, exhale to the floor, push up onto your knees. Tuck the toes in, lift into downward dog. Bend the knees, walking slowly to the top of the mat, to a Bentley forward bend, tuck the chin in, pull your belly in, support your lower back. And it's a slow, controlled with the core, straightening up of the body. As you come straight, roll the shoulders back, inhale the arms up, tall mountain. And exhale the hands down. Okay, we go again. Inhale, lift up, tall mountain. And bending the knees for the first one, float down to a Bentley forward bend. Hands on shins, lift into half forward bend. Lean onto the front of the feet. Try and make the legs vertical. And then come into a forward bend, taking the head and the chest closer to the floor. Lean onto the front of the feet. Push the knees back, lift the sit bones up, find some tension in your hamstrings, and only go as far as you are comfortable going, to that point of tension, not forcing it, just letting gravity bring the head and the chest down and feeling that tension build in the back of the legs. Then bending your knees, hands to the floor, walk all the way back into a plank position, shoulders on top of wrists. Arms are really solid here, as is your core. So pulling your tummy button in, pushing back onto the heels. And then lower, knees, chest, chin again. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale through and up into Cobra, maybe lifting the front of the pelvis off of the mat, lifting up through the crown of the head, shoulders back. Exhale down. Inhale up onto your knees. Stepping the right foot forward between the hands. Tuck the left toes in. Lift the left leg off of the mat. Finding this lunge position, bringing that right knee on top of the ankle, drawing the chest forwards, pushing back into the heel. Pulling the belly in. With an inhale, turn the shoulders to the right. Take the right hand up. Exhale it down. With an inhale, keeping your hips steady as you pull the core in. Take the left arm out to the side for a twist. And down. Step back into downward dog. Okay, dropping the right knee to the floor, step the left foot forward between the hands, tuck the right toes in, straighten out that right leg. Draw the chest forwards, left knee is on top of left ankle. Inhale, turn to the left for a twist here. Exhale down. Core engagement, hips solid. Turn to the right, take the right hand up or out to the side as much as you can. And down. Drop the right knee to the floor, top of the right foot on the floor. Slowly come to an upright position, drawing your belly in. Inhale the hands up either side of the head into crescent lunge. Exhale, lean into this lunge. Really properly lean to that point of tension in your hip flexor. Take a couple of breaths here. And then exhale the hands down, tuck those back toes in, lift the right knee off of the mat, take the hips back as you straighten out as much as you can both legs into pyramid. When you're here, lower the chest down on that leading leg to get tension, drawing that left sit bone backwards. Find that tension. Then bending that front knee, pressure into the mat with the hands, step back into downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then drop down onto your left knee. Right foot comes forward between the hands. Top of the left foot on the mat. Come to an upright position, drawing your belly in. Inhale the hands up, eyes side to head. Exhale, lean into this lunge. Looking forwards or looking up. But find that stretch through the hip flexor. Keeping your belly engaged here. Supporting the lower back. Exhale the hands to the floor, tuck the left toes in, lift the left knee up, take the hips backwards as that front leg extends, and then lower the chest down on that leg. Drawing the right sit bones backwards, finding that tension, that stress in the leg. It's all about moving the body gently, getting the tissues gliding, sliding, opening. And then stepping to the top of the mat. Bentley forward bend, taking the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, straighten the arms, bend the knees, drop the hips, drop the chest onto the thighs if you can, as low as you can, and draw those arms forwards. And then pull your belly in. We're going to slowly make our way to an upright position, but keep that core engaged. Keep the arms straight going back as you start to level out here. Now lift up through the crown of the head. As you send those arms back, pull the belly in still, look up, drive those arms behind you for a gentle back bend with your shoulders actively engaged, and then softening the knees, come all the way back, but keeping that core engaged as you support the lower back, all the way down, arms come forwards. Release the hands either side of the legs, let them dangle, pull your belly in, slowly roll up to a mountain position, rolling the shoulders back. Okay, stepping the right foot back, just a fraction, half a stride, half a big stride if you like. And we're going to do some split squats. So hands onto your chest. Okay, inhale here. Going to take the tailbone straight down. Inhale up, exhale straight down. Inhale up. Keep going, straight down, up, straight down, up, and one more, all the way down, up. Okay, you're going to turn through 180 degrees here. Get the right stride length here. Hands stay on top of your chest. Inhale here, and exhale, come down. It's a vertical movement of your axial body, tailbone, all the way through to the crown of the head. So bending through those knees, working the quads. Okay, turn through 180 degrees, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up, tall mountain, straight leg forward bend, slowly folding forwards. Bending the knees, walking back to a plank position. Inhale the hands on top of the shoulders. Side plank as you roll over to the outer edge of the right foot. Lift the left hand up. Take any variation in side plank you are comfortable doing. Roll to the other side. For side plank. And again, just always trying to work it a little bit harder maybe. Taking the challenge, accepting the challenge, building the strength up in your body. From plank, lower down, half plank or knees, chest, chin, tops of the feet on the mat. Draw the chest forward and through into upward dog, exhale down. Push up onto your knees. Take a child here, just stretch out through the back, just to stretch out through the lower back. And then come up onto your knees, tuck your toes in, lift into downward dog. Okay, looking up between the hands. You're going to step the right foot forwards between the hands and ground the back heel down. Pull your belly in. Wheel that left arm all the way around into warrior two, looking straight ahead. Okay, lift up, reverse warrior. Exhale through to side angle. With the breath, inhale, reverse warrior. And side angle, a little bit of dynamic movement just to get the body moving. Lift up warrior two, drop the hands down, interlace the fingers, drive the hands down. Inhale the chest up, exhale, fold forwards. On the exhale, inhale, slowly come up, drive the hands back, chest up, exhale, come down and hold. A couple of breaths here. Come all the way back up. Inhale the hands up, point the feet at 45 degrees, 5-pointed star. Exhale, gliding squat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gliding squat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gliding squat. And then taking the hands out in front of you, palms together, pull your belly in, draw your shoulders around to the right. Keeping your core engaged here, feeling the work going on in the body. Round to center and round to the left. Come back to center. Inhale, sweep up to 5-point. Exhale, warrior two to the other side. Look over the middle finger of your left hand, finding this posture. Inhale, lift up into reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, lift up. Warrior, drop the hands back. Inhale the chest up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift up, lifting the chest up, arms go back. Exhale, deep dive. Taking the chest down, lifting those arms up over the top. Release the hands, drop the hands down, lift that back heel up, come into a low lunge, and then step back into downward dog. Inhale through to plank, exhale to the floor. Inhale through and up into cobra or upward dog. Exhale to the floor. Inhale up onto your knees, tuck your toes in, lift up into downward dog. Inhale that left leg nice and high. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Grounding the back heel down. And windmill all the way up. Warrior two. Look over the middle finger of your left hand. And inhale, lift up reverse warrior. Straighten that front leg. Reverse triangle. And come all the way up and forwards. Bending at the waist to find triangle. Hand on the inside or on top of the shin as you find triangle here. Look to the side or look up. Deeper posture here is sweeping the arm forwards. Even deeper, pulling your belly in, is reaching that lower arm forwards. You really feel it in your torso. Find triangle again. This top arm comes into the small of the back. Turn and look down at your left foot. Bend your left knee. Take your left hand down to the floor. Lift that back heel up. Finding the stability of the foundation with your left hand, your left foot. Step back up into half moon. As you lift that back leg up, about hip height, flex the ankle, point the toes away. Look down at the floor. Float that right arm up towards the ceiling. Turn and look up at that right hand if you've got the balance. And then look back down at the floor, float that back foot down, hands to the floor, lunge. And then step back into downward dog. And then inhale through to plank, exhale, knees, chest, chin, tops of the feet on the mat, inhale through and up into cobra, exhale down. Inhale onto your knees, tuck your toes in, exhale, downward dog. Inhale that left leg forward, step the left foot forward between the hands, ground that back heel down. Windmill all the way up to warrior two. Pivot on your heels, 45 degrees. Inhale, 5-point. Exhale, glide in squat. Inhale, sweep up 5-point. Warrior two to the other side. Float into warrior two. Right palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then straighten that front leg, reverse triangle. Come upright. Lean forwards. Over that front straight leg into triangle on this side. Taking that arm forwards if you want. Bringing that arm forwards if you want. Whatever works for you. Or if you're in triangle, turn and look up at that raised arm. Holding here wherever you are and breathe. Steadying the breath down. Keep everything nice and calm. Turn and looking down at the mat. Bringing that hand into the small of the back. Bend that front knee, hand to the floor. Lifting that back heel up, inching forwards to lift that left leg off of the mat. Half moon, flex the ankle, point the toes away. Stay here looking at the floor and taking that left arm up to the ceiling, or turn and look up at the left hand. Stay in this posture, bone loading your hip and breathing nice and steadily. Taking the hand to the floor, dropping that left foot all the way back. Step back into downward dog. Inhale through to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale through and up into cobra. Exhale down. Inhale up onto your knees. Tuck your toes in and lift into downward dog. Inhaling the left leg nice and high into three-legged dog. On the exhale, left knee to left elbow and hover here. Keeping your core engaged, keeping the work going on in your body. And keeping the breath nice and steady. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Again, slowing the breath down here. Finding ease in these postures where you can. And lift up into three-legged dog, back down to the floor. Bending the knees, walking slowly to top of the mat, tucking the chin in, rolling up standing. Inhale the hands up, hands onto your chest. Come up onto your toes, lifting the heels up, and take a moment here to press into the toes, find the balance, get the legs active and soften the breath. Pressing your palms together very gently so you're still active in your upper body. And release, drop the heels down. Okay, grounding into your right foot, lift your left knee off of the mat and reach and grab hold of your knee and pull the knee in. Okay, stay looking forwards, taking the left hand back for a twist. And only if it's okay for you to do so, turn and look back at that left hand. Find this balance here. Keeping the breath nice and slow. Taking any variation you want. Okay, inhale the hands up and exhale down. Go again on the other side. So drawing that right knee up, draw the knee into the chest as much as you can. Keep hold of that right knee with your left hand. Take the right hand behind you to find this twist. Maybe turn, look back at that right hand. Take a few breaths here, just finding the stability, the balance. Only going as far as it's okay for you. Okay, from where you are here, take the feet out to the edges of the mat. Bring your hands together slowly with your belly pulled in. Lower the hips as you bend the knees, keeping the tailbone tucked under, quite flat in the lower back. Lift the chest up, soften the shoulders for Malasana. If you're okay here, take your arms out nice and wide, keeping your belly engaged. Bring the hands together and then slowly straighten all the way up. Bring your feet to mountain, hip width apart. Inhale the hands up. Pull your belly in, palms together, look up, and then draw the arms in an arc up and back, keeping your tummy pulled in to support your lower back for a standing back bend. And then come forwards. Try to have a straight leg forward bend. As your head and chest come towards the floor, lean onto the front of the feet again, light on the heels, hands behind the legs maybe, as you draw the chest towards the floor, pushing back into the knees. Bending the knees, hands to the floor. Slowly walk back to downward dog. Lower the knees to the floor and then straighten the legs, sending the hips backwards. Lower the knees to the floor, straighten the legs, lower the chest, and again. Okay, lower the forearms to the floor and then lift up into dog. Lowering the forearms to the floor, lift into dog. If this is too much, stay in downward dog. Maybe take some three-legged dogs. Okay, taking the feet out a little wider apart. Lift the left leg off of the mat several inches and down, and the right hand off of the mat several inches and down, and then left leg and right hand off the mat several inches, two-legged dog, and down. And we go right leg, down, left hand, down, right leg, left hand, down, drop onto your knees. Take the knees out to the edges of the mat, sit the hips back onto the heels, extended child as you reach your fingers to the top corner of the mat. Take it a couple of breaths here, softening through the shoulders. And then come back up, all the way down onto your fronts. And then reach the hands in front of you. With a breath in, lift the left leg and the right hand up into lizard. Hold a couple of breaths, breathing nice and slowly, feeling the work in the lower back. And release. And then the left arm and the right foot. And release. And both arms and both legs into long locust. Keep the breath nice and steady. Working so hard now in your lower back and your hamstrings. And release. Hands down either side of the ribs, elbows tuck in. Push up and back into child to stretch out through those lower back muscles. And then come up to tabletop with a breath in, right leg, left hand, right hand, left leg off of the mat into balancing cat. And then elbow to knee, lengthen, extend and hold. Look down at the mat. And release. And go the other side. So left hand, right leg, elbow to knee, lift up, extend and hold. And come back down. Drop the forearms on the floor. Stretch out through the legs, come into elbow plank. Holding here, a couple of breaths. Getting your elbows under your shoulders, pulling your belly in, looking at the floor. Float the right foot off of the mat several inches, pushing the heel back and breathing nice and slowly. Can bring elbow, knee to back of tricep and back. And then go again on the other side. So from plank, lift the left leg off of the mat. If this is too much, you can stay in elbow plank, drawing that knee to elbow or tricep, back, drop down. Lower your lower ribs onto the mat. Position your forearms a little bit further apart so you can pull back on the forearms, draw the whole of the body forwards on the mat, and then peel the top of the chest away into Sphinx, lengthening through the spine. For a gentle back bend, lifting the head forwards, not craning the neck. It's all about getting some space in the spine here as you draw those forearms back, really active here. Shoulder blades coming back, chest going forwards and away from the mat. And release to the floor. Bring your hands either side of the ribs, push up, crossing your ankles, rolling back, coming onto your bottom and into boat as you lift the legs up and take the shoulders back. The arms out, long, finding the balance. Straighten the legs up. And drop the feet to the floor. Okay, still with the feet bent though. We're going to bring the arms out nice and long and front to the front, and we're going to come back and draw that elbow back for a twist here. Reach forward and draw back the right elbow as we twist. So it's using the oblique muscles. So inhale as you go forwards. On the exhale, pull the belly in, draw the elbow back. Inhale, draw the elbow back as you sort of turn in to the side. On the exhale, really pulling the belly back as the elbow comes back. You'll feel it after a couple of these in your obliques, in your core. Anytime this is too much or painful in your back, if at all, and stop. Okay, and then bring the soles of the feet together, lifting the spine up, quite flatten the lower back, hands on the inside of the ankles, push the knees out to the side, and come gently forwards here. Into Cobra. And we'll take a twist here. So crossing the legs, lift up through the spine, turn around to the right, plant the hands down, left hand onto right knee, right hand behind. And then when you've got this turn, this twist going on already, pull the tummy in, then use the bind and go deeper as you use the leverage of the hands to take the shoulders around a little bit deeper, squeeze and compress it through your core. And release. Okay, go around the other side. So turn through into the twist to start off with. Position the hands for the bind. Inhale on the exhale, nice and straight through the spine. On the exhale, use the bind then to take the shoulders around a little bit further, putting the belly in and finding that compression in your lower body. Okay. All right, coming onto your knees now. And just really careful here. If you're really tight in the quads and you can't find hero pose, sitting back onto your heels, then by all means sit on a cushion, sit up onto your backs of your heels. But finding hero pose here, leaning back, maybe lifting the knees off of the mat, just a fraction, stretch out through the front of the legs. If you can't do this and you're up here on your heels, what I suggest to do as a substitute is take a camel. So maybe lean back if you can onto your heels, drive your hips forwards, take your shoulder blades towards each other and back, and lift the chest up. So that's an option here. If you're okay with your quads and you want to come into hero, reclined hero, taking the shoulders back, and maybe adjusting your knees any way you need to. Don't have any pain in your knees as you come back. Have some tension in your quads and work with that tension in your quads. It's going to be different for everybody. It's not about how low you can go. It's just really about working with the tension in your quads and try to soften that tension wherever it might be in your body. It's perfectly acceptable to open your knees or take your knees wider apart if that makes the posture accessible, because everybody's built differently here. I don't subscribe to this keep your knees together and come back, or even keep your knees together, take your feet out to the edges, then come back. That doesn't work for most bodies. So work with what you can do to get that nice stretch through the tops of the thighs, the quads, and the hip flexors. And wherever you might be in that, go to wherever that is for you, okay? And you can take a few breaths in that position and then come up, and to counter pose, we'll go straight into downward dog as you stretch out through the legs here, get the blood supply going back through those knees. And again, if you was in camel, that's absolutely fine. Camel's a really nice, safe back bend, but come into a downward dog just to stretch out through the legs. We're going to come down onto our backs now. So onto your bottoms, roll onto your lower back, pull the knees into the chest, give your knees a squeeze and release here just to massage through the lower back. And then drop the right foot, left foot on top of right thigh, come into a lying pigeon as you reach around and grab hold of the back of that right hamstring, head and shoulders on the mat if you want, and pull that leg towards you to find that nice stretch through the glute here. Taking these nice, slow, gentle breaths as you go to the limit of your range of movement now in these ending postures. Body's nice and pliable, warmed up. Tissues have loosened, softened. Okay, change over. So right ankle on top of left thigh and draw that leg towards you. Head and shoulders on the floor and pull the stretch on. So you can afford to be quite hard on yourself in terms of your effort to go into these postures. Feeling, always being connected, looking out, searching out for any sensitivities, softening any muscles so that you're pulling against soft tissue, not contracting muscles, and feeling how the breath on the exhale can smooth out the tensions, the stresses in your body. And release. Going to keep that ankle on top of the thigh. Take the arms out nice and wide, shoulders and head on the mat. You're going to rotate the hips to the left. Take that right knee to the left. Lift your left hand up and ground down. As you pull that knee down as much as you can to the floor, turn your head to the right, soft through the right shoulder. Take a few breaths here in this supine twist. Turn and look up, release that hand, come back to center, change the legs over, so left ankle on top of right knee, and then slowly rotating the hips down to the right, lifting that right hand up, drawing that knee down, and then turning, looking across to your left hand, your left shoulder, as you soften through that shoulder, that hand. Again, feeling the sensations of this twist, wherever they may be, and softening where you can. And release. Drop both feet down, draw the soles of the feet together, release the knees to the side, opening the hips, hands on your belly. Take a couple of belly breaths here as you soften through your hips. Just feeling the sensations in your body. And then lengthen the legs, extend the legs, take the feet out to the bottom corners of the mat. Feet flop to the side, hands out the side of the body, tuck the chin in. And take as many breaths, as many minutes as you want here to finish off, to end the practice. Even if you've got somewhere to go, if you want to, wrap it up. At least allow yourself a couple of minutes. Just allow the body to soften and let go. Allow yourself to switch into rest, digest, repair mode. Allow the body to start that healing process. Allow ligaments to lengthen and soften. Allow all those good natural chemicals to get released into the blood, which contribute to you feeling good. So why wouldn't you want to do this Shavasana? And give you a chance for your mind just to stop. Stop jumping onto any thought that enters your head. Just let it sit back and watch these thoughts. Stay here as long as you want. I'm going to wrap this up. So, a sequence which does move the body in different planes of movement, gets the heart rate up, gets some of the muscles working. Hopefully you found it okay. I'm going to put a couple more of these up in the coming days, weeks, 30 minutes. It's a nice little time frame for some yoga. Hopefully makes it a bit more accessible for some people. In the meantime, love to see you at my classes. If you're in the locality and if you like the videos, give us a like. That'd be really appreciated. But stay safe. Enjoy your yoga. Namaste.